Have you ever felt guilty or anxious when you tried to say no? Many of us have been there. I've been there. And this highlights a really important truth that knowing how to express what we're willing to do and what we're not willing to do is central to our well being and healthy relationships.
So, what is a boundary? A boundary is typically thought of as a wall or a gate to allow something in or out of your life. Now, these metaphors can serve a purpose, but I don't particularly like them because they put exclusion into the definition of a boundary. And that's not the way that I think about it. I think of a boundary as being one of two things. One, it's a way of communicating willingness. So if I'm willing to do something, I discover whether I'm willing. It's not something I create. I don't create my own willingness. I'm either willing or I'm not. And I discover that. And as I search inside of my body and find whether I'm willing or not, then I can communicate that. So that's the first way I think about a boundary. The second way I think about a boundary is as simply meeting some capacity or limit inside of ourselves. Now, with any limit, it's always that there's a little bit of wiggle room, but then there's an area where it's like very far extended beyond, and that's above the limit, obviously. So a boundary is just clarifying also where our limits go out of the negotiable zone and into the danger zone of overextension and burnout and something that's really sufficiently not aligned that it's really going to cause harm to us. So, those two ways of thinking about a boundary are really about going inward and finding a truth inside of yourself and then communicating that clearly